The Grumman F8F Bearcat was one of the most powerful piston-engine fighters ever built. It represented the peak of propeller-driven aircraft design developed at the end of World War II, when jet technology was just beginning to emerge. The Bearcat was designed to replace the already successful F6F Hellcat in the U.S. Navy's carrier fleet. Grumman engineers aimed to create an aircraft that could outperform anything else in terms of climb rate, maneuverability, and speed while maintaining naval toughness. Despite its incredible potential, the Bearcat entered service too late to participate in combat during World War II. Its story is one of technological brilliance overshadowed by timing. The fighter became a symbol of transition from the era of propeller-driven planes to the jet age. While it never saw battle in the war it was built for, its legacy lived on as one of the fastest and most agile piston-engine aircraft ever created, influencing both future jet fighter design and post-war aviation competition. The Bearcat's origins trace back to early 1943, when the U.S. Navy recognized the need for a lighter, faster, and more maneuverable carrier-based fighter. The F6F Hellcat had been a tremendous success, but engineers at Grumman, led by designer Rex Beisel, knew that even greater performance could be achieved by reducing weight and optimizing aerodynamics. The idea was to build a plane that could climb quickly to intercept enemy aircraft, particularly Japanese fighters known for agility. Grumman's team began developing the XF8F prototype with an emphasis on power-to-weight ratio. They selected the Pratt & Whitney R2008 100 double wasp engine, the same one that powered the Hellcat and Corsair, but designed a smaller airframe around it. This approach resulted in an aircraft that was compact, light, and extremely fast. By late 1944, the first prototypes were completed, and early test flights proved the Bearcat's remarkable capabilities. The war, however, was nearing its end, and time was running out for the Bearcat to make its mark. The F8F Bearcat was engineered with a simple but bold philosophy: the smallest airframe for the most powerful engine. The designers wanted a fighter that could outclimb and outmaneuver any aircraft of its time. Unlike the bulky Hellcat, the Bearcat had a short fuselage, clipped wings, and a large propeller to maximize thrust. It weighed around 2,000 pounds less than the Hellcat, but carried the same engine, making its power-to-weight ratio one of the best in piston aviation history. Grumman focused on pilot visibility, structural strength, and ease of maintenance, essential for carrier operations. The landing gear was shorter and sturdier, allowing for better carrier landings. The cockpit was raised for excellent visibility during approach and combat. Every inch of the Bearcat was designed for performance, making it a pilot's dream to fly. It was not only fast but also highly responsive, earning a reputation as one of the best handling fighters ever built, even though it missed wartime combat. The first prototype, designated XF8F1, took to the skies on August 21, 1944. Test pilots immediately recognized that this aircraft was unlike any other. It could reach 400 mph in level flight and climb to 10,000 feet in just over a minute, an astounding feat for a piston-engine fighter. The prototype's initial performance exceeded expectations so dramatically that the U.S. Navy quickly ordered production, even before all testing was complete. The aircraft demonstrated superior takeoff and landing characteristics, essential for carrier operations. Its agility and acceleration made it a formidable potential dogfighter. The Bearcat's wings were designed to fold easily for carrier storage, and it could be armed with 4 .50 caliber machine guns, rockets, or bombs. However, as 1944 turned to 1945, the Allied victory in the Pacific was near. Production began in early 1945, but by the time the first F8F1 Bearcats were delivered to operational squadrons, the war was effectively over. The fighter that could have dominated the skies never got its chance to prove itself in combat. Performance was where the Bearcat truly excelled, with its 100 horsepower Pratt & Whitney R2008 100 engine. The aircraft could reach speeds exceeding 455 mph. Its climb rate, over 500 feet per minute, was unmatched by any other piston-engine fighter of the era. The aircraft's light structure and aerodynamic efficiency gave it outstanding maneuverability, allowing pilots to perform tight turns and rapid rolls with ease. The Bearcat's acceleration from low speeds was phenomenal, giving it a decisive edge in dogfights. Its range was around 100 miles with drop tanks, making it suitable for both interception and escort missions. In terms of armament, the Bearcat carried either 4 50 caliber machine guns or 4 20mm cannons in later versions, along with hardpoints for bombs and rockets. These specifications made it not just a fighter, but also a capable ground attack platform. In essence, the Bearcat represented the ultimate expression of piston-engine fighter technology, faster, lighter, and more agile than any that came before it. The first operational Bearcat squadrons were formed in mid-1945, just weeks before Japan's surrender. Fighter Squadron VF-19 aboard USS Langley was the first to receive the aircraft. Pilots were amazed by its performance, describing it as the hottest piston fighter ever built. However, the timing could not have been worse. With the war ending, military budgets were cut, and the U.S. Navy began focusing on the new generation of jet-powered fighters. As a result, the Bearcat entered service during peacetime, never firing a shot in anger during World War II. Despite that, it quickly became a favorite among naval aviators for its handling and raw power. It was used for advanced pilot training, air defense, and carrier operations throughout the late 1940s. While jets soon took over frontline roles, the Bearcat's reputation as a pilot's aircraft ensured it remained in service long enough to leave a mark on aviation history. The simple answer to why the Bearcat missed World War II is timing. Its development began too late in the conflict to allow for mass production and deployment before the war's end. By the time the F8F reached operational squadrons, Japan had already surrendered. The U.S. Navy was transitioning from a wartime to a peacetime footing, and attention was shifting toward jet-powered aircraft like the F-H Phantom and F-9F Panther. The Bearcat represented the pinnacle of propeller-driven technology, but jets promised even higher speeds and performance. Thus, despite its readiness and unmatched capabilities, the Bearcat became obsolete almost immediately after its introduction. It was a victim of technological evolution, an extraordinary machine built for a war that had already ended. Still, aviation historians often describe it as the fighter that would have dominated the Pacific skies had it arrived just 6 months earlier. The Bearcat's predecessor, the F-6F Hellcat, was one of the most successful naval fighters of World War II, responsible for more than 50 enemy kills. Comparing the two shows how far design had progressed in just a few years. The Bearcat was smaller, lighter, and significantly faster than the Hellcat. It could climb twice as quickly and had a higher top speed by nearly 50 mph. Its handling was far more responsive, making it feel more like a sport plane than a military fighter. However, the Hellcat had better range and ruggedness, which were crucial in long Pacific missions. The Bearcat's reduced size meant less endurance and payload, but for interception and air superiority roles it was unmatched. Pilots who flew both aircraft often described the Bearcat as a Hellcat on steroids. It was the pure fighter, the ultimate evolution of Grumman's wartime design philosophy, but one that arrived when its moment had already passed. Although the Bearcat never saw combat in World War II, experts and pilots agree it would have been an extraordinary weapon if it had. Its high climb rate would have made it an ideal interceptor against Japanese bombers or kamikaze attacks. Its agility and speed would have allowed it to dominate any enemy fighter, including the legendary Mitsubishi A6M0. The Bearcat's firepower, consisting of 4 50 caliber machine guns or later cannons, was more than enough to destroy lightly built enemy aircraft. Its compact design and quick acceleration would have made it deadly in dogfights, while its carrier compatibility ensured flexibility in deployment. Post-war tests even showed that the Bearcat could outperform many early jet aircraft in low-altitude maneuvers. If introduced earlier, it might have changed the dynamics of late Pacific combat, possibly shortening the air war. Unfortunately, history had other plans, and the Bearcat's incredible combat potential remained untested in actual wartime. After World War II ended, the F8F Bearcat became a mainstay of U.S. Navy and Marine Corps fighter squadrons during the immediate post-war years. It served primarily from 1946 to the early 1950s, bridging the gap between piston, engine, and jet aircraft. Pilots praised its agility and speed, calling it one of the most enjoyable fighters ever built. The Bearcat was used extensively for carrier training and readiness exercises, helping to keep naval aviation strong while jet technology matured. Its reliability and performance made it ideal for testing carrier deck operations and new tactics. Although it was eventually replaced by the F9F Panther and other early jets, the Bearcat gave pilots invaluable experience that carried over into the jet age. Some squadrons even used it for air racing and demonstration flying, showcasing its breathtaking acceleration and roll rate. While it never gained fame through combat, it earned respect through performance and dependability. The Bearcat thus became a symbol of excellence in piston aviation, an aircraft that, despite missing war, helped shape the next generation of naval fighter pilots. The Bearcat's impressive design caught the attention of several foreign air forces. After the war, surplus U.S. aircraft were distributed to Allied nations, and the F8F found new life abroad. The French Navy and Air Force became major users, employing the Bearcat during the late 1940s and early 1950s, particularly in the First Indochina War. French pilots appreciated the aircraft's ruggedness and high performance in tropical conditions, using it for both air defense and ground attack missions. The Royal Thai Air Force also operated Bearcats and kept them in service well into the 1960s, marking one of the longest operational careers for the type. In these roles, the Bearcat finally saw the combat it missed during WWII, attacking insurgent positions and providing close air support. These post-war operations demonstrated that, even years after its introduction, the Bearcat remained a formidable fighter. It may have been designed for a world war that ended too soon, but it proved its worth in smaller, regional conflicts around the world. One of the Bearcat's most remarkable post-military careers came in the world of air racing. Its lightweight design and powerful engine made it perfect for high-speed competition. Many surplus Bearcats were bought by private pilots and modified for racing, where they dominated events like the Reno Air Races. Aircraft such as Rare Bear, a heavily modified F8F, set multiple world speed records for piston-engine planes, records that stood for decades. In 1989, Rare Bear reached an astonishing 528 mph, a testament to the aircraft's incredible aerodynamic potential. Air racing enthusiasts often regarded the Bearcat as the ultimate piston-engine racer, capable of rivaling even some early jets in top speed. Its sleek lines, thunderous engine, and dramatic performance made it a crowd favorite. Through these competitions, the Bearcat achieved the fame it missed in war, thrilling audiences and reminding the world of what piston technology could achieve at its peak. Even today, Bearcats continue to appear at airshows, embodying the golden era of American aviation excellence. The F8F Bearcat was more than just fast. It was technically innovative. Its lightweight construction used advanced aluminum alloys to reduce structural weight without sacrificing strength. The large propeller required a tall landing gear, but Grumman engineers cleverly designed a short, robust undercarriage that folded neatly into the wings. This design maintained the aircraft's compact shape for carrier storage. The Bearcat also featured a bubble canopy, providing pilots with excellent visibility, a feature later adopted by many jet fighters. Its clipped wings improved roll rate and agility, while its tail design offered superb stability at high speeds. The engine installation included an adjustable cowl flap system for cooling efficiency, ensuring optimal performance during both climb and cruise. Every component was refined for performance, reflecting Grumman's philosophy of form follows function. In many ways, the Bearcat represented the technological limit of piston-engine design before jets rendered such aircraft obsolete. Its combination of speed, agility, and innovation made it one of the most sophisticated propeller-driven fighters ever created. Pilots who flew the F8F Bearcat often described it in glowing terms. They admired its raw power, light controls, and lightning-fast climb rate. The aircraft responded instantly to stick movements, making it feel more like an extension of the pilot than a machine. Many said it could climb an angel and turn the devil. The Bearcat's takeoff and landing behavior were also praised. It handled smoothly on carrier decks, even in rough conditions. Its cockpit layout was ergonomic and modern for the time, allowing pilots to focus entirely on flying rather than managing complex controls. The combination of high power and small airframe, however, demanded respect. Inexperienced pilots could easily overtorque the engine or lose control in aggressive maneuvers. Still, once mastered, the Bearcat offered unmatched flying pleasure. Test pilots and veterans alike agreed that it represented the ultimate expression of piston fighter handling, fast, responsive, and graceful. Even decades later, pilots who experience restored Bearcats call it one of the finest airplanes ever built. When the Bearcat entered service, the jet age had just begun. Early jet fighters like the Lockheed P-80 Shooting Star and the Grumman F9F Panther were entering development. Compared to these early jets, the Bearcat could still hold its own in certain aspects. At low altitudes, it often out-accelerated jets and could turn them easily due to superior thrust response and aerodynamic control. However, jets quickly surpassed it in top speed and high-altitude performance. The contrast highlighted the end of the piston era. The Bearcat represented perfection in an old technology, while jets symbolized the future. Had the war continued, the Bearcat might have delayed jet dominance in naval aviation. Yet history moved on. The lessons learned from the Bearcat's lightweight, high-power design influenced jet fighters that followed. It bridged two worlds, the last breath of piston aviation and the first whisper of the jet revolution, proving that even as technology evolved, good design never truly became obsolete. The legacy of the F8F Bearcat endures as one of innovation, speed, and elegance. Though it missed its intended war, it left a profound influence on aviation engineering. Its design philosophy, compact airframe, high power, and agility, became a blueprint for future fighter development. Many historians regard it as the finest piston-engine fighter ever built. The Bearcat also played a crucial role in pilot training during the late 1940s, ensuring a smooth transition to jets. In civilian life, it became a racing icon, keeping the sound of radial engines alive for generations. Today, surviving Bearcats are treasured by museums and collectors, representing the culmination of piston-era technology. Each preserved aircraft tells the story of an age when speed, skill, and engineering reached their pinnacle before giving way to jet propulsion. The Bearcat stands as a monument to human ingenuity, proof that even when timing prevents glory in war, excellence leaves a legacy that endures far beyond battlefields. Building the Bearcat presented unique manufacturing challenges. Grumman had to balance lightweight construction with carrier durability, a difficult task. The company's factory in Bethpage, New York, adapted to new production methods to meet Navy demands. Material shortages in late 1944 also affected output, slowing early deliveries. Engineers used innovative assembly techniques to streamline construction without compromising strength. Each airframe underwent rigorous testing, especially the landing gear, which had to withstand hard carrier landings. The large propeller required a special design solution to prevent ground strikes, leading to the use of short, strong gear legs. Despite these challenges, Grumman delivered hundreds of aircraft by war's end. A total of about 200 Bearcats were built, though many never left U.S. soil before the conflict ended. These manufacturing efforts highlighted American industrial might at its peak, a final demonstration of wartime innovation even as peace approached. The Bearcat's efficient production marked a turning point from mass wartime output to precision post-war craftsmanship. Although not as famous as the Mustang or Corsair, the Bearcat earned a place in aviation culture through airshows, movies, and literature. Its distinctive look and powerful sound made it a favorite subject for aviation artists and model makers. The aircraft has appeared in documentaries and war films, often representing the peak of propeller-driven design. In airshows, Bearcats perform dramatic climbs and low-level passes that leave spectators awestruck. Their deep engine roar and sleek lines evoke nostalgia for the golden age of aviation. Rare Bear. The racing version became a legend in its own right, inspiring books and documentaries about air racing history. Aviation museums across the world proudly display restored Bearcats as symbols of mechanical beauty and American engineering excellence. While it may not have the wartime fame of its predecessors, in popular culture the Bearcat remains the fighter that defined perfection, an aircraft loved by pilots, historians, and enthusiasts alike for its unmatched combination of power and grace. Today, only a few dozen Bearcats survive, with even fewer still airworthy. Aviation museums and private collectors have worked tirelessly to restore these aircraft to flying condition. The restoration process is challenging because original parts are rare, and the engineering tolerances are extremely tight. Enthusiasts often rebuild engines, fabricate components, and repaint aircraft in authentic naval colors. Events such as the Reno Air Races and Oshkosh Air Venture regularly feature flying Bearcats, where crowds witness the thunderous power of a 1940s masterpiece still roaring across the sky. These restorations are more than mechanical projects. They are tributes to history. Each restored Bearcat serves as a living reminder of American aviation's most innovative period. Museums like the Smithsonian and the Planes of Fame Air Museum preserve static displays, ensuring future generations understand the Bearcat's significance. Through these efforts, the Fighter That Missed WWII continues to inspire awe, reminding the world that timeless engineering never fades, even as technology marches forward. The F8F Bearcat remains one of aviation's great what-ifs. It was designed for victory in World War II, but arrived after the fighting had ended. Nevertheless, it stands as the ultimate piston-engine fighter, light, fast, and beautifully engineered. The Bearcat embodied everything Grumman had learned about carrier aviation and aerial combat. Though it never faced enemy fighters in battle, it conquered hearts through performance, innovation, and beauty. In peacetime, it trained pilots, inspired engineers, and thrilled crowds around the world. It symbolized the transition between eras, one foot in the age of propellers, the other stepping into the jet age. More than just a machine, the Bearcat was a masterpiece of design that proved how far human ingenuity could push mechanical flight. Its legacy continues to soar, not through the smoke of war, but in the admiration of every pilot and historian who recognizes it for what it truly was. The fighter that missed WWII, yet never missed greatness.